Then some young, rich kids, they say they think animals are as important as human beings. I don't believe them. Because if it's their own child or their own brother or sister, they wouldn't say so. This is it's a scary way of talking, you know. No, I love nature. I am a very conventional Swede. I spent lots of my free time in the deep forest here, picking mushrooms, watching the elks and the foxes. I really love. I've spent my life running orienteering. Nature is very close to my heart. But I do make difference between rabbits and my grandchildren. There's a very distinct difference between rabbits and my grandchildren. So but I want my grandchildren to have a wonderful nature, and I want to have respect for animals and for plants and for biodiversity. But this almost, some use strong words like ecofascism and so on. You should be careful with that, because it's a true and good concern for environment that the young generation have. But not understanding that people want tapped water in their house. They want to be able to have a shower. They want to go to the toilet without being there with rats and flies, you know. So it's very difficult to have the richest people to understand reality of the poorest. I have much more understanding in poor rural villages in Africa on how it is in Europe. It's very strange. Remote rural villages, you know, they follow the football teams in Germany, in Africa, you know, and they know about realities. And someone in the village has a cousin who works in Dortmund, you know, and they know about realities in Germany much better than the normal people in Germany knows about reality in Tanzania. And when the rich go to Africa, it's sort of you see poverty is much more difficult to understand downwards life reality. When you are poor, it's very nice to understand how a cake tastes, you know. But when you are rich, it's very difficult to understand how it is to sleep with rats who crawl over you. So that's a challenge for us to explain the ugliness of poverty, and that it's absolutely unavoidable that the poorest 4 billion would fight for decent living conditions. We're not talking about charter tourism. We're not talking about luxurious motorbikes. We're talking about water, showers, you know, basic perhaps a radio, a lamp, you know, so that you can work, a little instrument, you can play music. I used to say Sweden 1950. The world I was born into. An ambulance if someone had a terrible accident. It's those basic, decent life conditions, not luxurious.